All right, Belal, right in the front, other side.
What's up, bro?
Congrats on the win. How's your leg with that bag of ice?
My leg is a balloon. Nah, it's all right. It's all right. You know, it doesn't hurt as much when you win, so I'm cool with it.
Those leg kicks that you ate, were you expecting those, or did they catch you off guard at all?
I mean, I was expecting him. You know, he's Lima, so especially from his brother. So like, I know that he was gonna come in with those. So that's why I was like, my game plan already was like a lot more footwork, switching stances a lot. So like, I was comfortable if I knew I had to stay southpaw. I was gonna be comfortable doing southpaw anyway. But that's why you saw me switching a lot back and forth. It wasn't because of the leg most of the time. It was more that was my game plan anyway.
Then your overall performance, were you happy with? You're obviously happy with the win. I'm sure you wanted the finish, but overall, are you happy with how you performed in there?
Yeah, you know, I'm my own worst critic, so it's like what I wanted to do with this fight was start a lot faster. I'm usually one of the guys that pick it up toward the end of the fight, so like I had a really good warm up in the back. The stuff that we tried worked, and I started off the first round really fast. You know, and it's ever evolving game, so like I felt like that worked. So my game just keeps getting bigger and better. So next fight's gonna be even better.
Is that warm up in the back before round one? Is that something you normally do, or is that something you just did today for the first time?
No, yeah. Normally I'm just you know, I hit pads and I relax and chill, and then usually I'll start the fight off slow. With this one, I've been working with Horacio Gutierrez, another killer that's coming up. We've been doing it at practices before sparring. Like we'll play around the first one, light sparring, light footwork stuff, and then my sparring rounds would be a lot better because we only spar 3 rounds. So it's like usually I'll spar 5 or 6 rounds, and like, you know, because I have good cardio. But like I was like, nope, I'm gonna stick to 3 hard rounds. And so in the fight, I know that's all I'm doing is 3 hard 15 minutes of just being special. So like I know I had to start off faster than that instead of, yo, I'm gonna do 5 rounds of sparring, 6 rounds of sparring. It's okay, I'm not tired. Use it all up in the first couple rounds. So when the fight comes, I'll be able to do that too.
Then you called out Li Jiang in the broadcast. Is anything specific about him, or just the rankings that you like that?
Yeah, it's just a ranking, man. I've been asking and freaking pleading for a ranked guy this whole time. They didn't give it to me. Then they finally got rid of a couple of these guys that are just all talkers, like Nate Diaz and stuff. They shouldn't be in the rankings, so they finally got rid of these guys, and they put real fighters up there that are actually competing and stuff like that. So like, I finally got in there, but I was like, I didn't earn that spot until I won. So I won today. Now I want a ranked guy. Now I earned a ranked guy, and like I said, like I'm not gonna sit there. I don't need to call out like, all right, I hate Colby Covington, so I could call out Colby Covington, but I know that fight doesn't make sense, so I'm not gonna waste the call out, and I know that they're not gonna give me that fight, so I'm not gonna waste it. So like, Li Jingling's right above me. I was number 12, and then he knocked out Ponce-Rios, and they put him number 12. So he just took my spot, so I want that spot right back.
So then, as a welterweight, what do you make of someone like Hamzat, who's 3-0? I think he fought middleweight, and then a welterweight, who's usually a lightweight, and then another welterweight, or then another middleweight. And now he's sitting at 15 at welterweight all of a sudden. So, and you're obviously fought a welterweight your whole career. What do you think of when you see that?
That's what I'm saying. That's the game we're in right now. It's like, whoever picks up that momentum faster. So like, it's all about momentum in this game. Who could put the best performances together the fastest? That's the guy who's gonna get picked up. You know, like he's hot right now. Well, he was hot, but now he's like sizzling off because you know. I hope he gets better. I feel for the guy. You know, he was riding a good streak. They gave him a freak on Leon Edwards, but this sport's all about momentum. It's all about what have you done for me lately? And he was that hot guy right now. So now that he's going to be out for a while, so now somebody else needs to step in. And I want to be that new welterweight. Like, they were talking about him, like, oh, who's going to be the champion? And I was seeing freaking Hamzat in there, and I'm like, 2021. I'm like, yo, I need to be on that list. That's what I want to be. I want to be that guy. If I have to go through every single one of them one by one, I'll do it, man. I want these guys to keep underestimating me because then I'll just keep sliding my way in. I'm going to be planting my seed in there.
Then one final one. Last week, before Beneil Dariush fought, he used this phrase like high risk, low reward was his position in the UFC rankings, where he's not the biggest name, but he presents the highest risk. And if you beat him, you just beat someone that's not the biggest name. Do you think you're in a position like that too? A lot of people were kind of drawing comparisons to the two of you on Twitter after your win.
Actually, yeah, I really think that makes the most sense. Like you said, like there's not a lot to gain from fighting a guy like me. And I'm a guy that's good everywhere. So I could strike with you, I could grapple with you, I could do everything. And I'm one of those guys that's going to be in your face for again 15 minutes. It's a hard fight. I know I'm a tough fight. But, yeah, before I was out of the rankings, so there was no reason for any of these ranked guys to fight me. Like, oh, why am I going to fight that guy for? I won freaking 7 of my last 8, now 8 of my last 9, and they didn't have me ranked. And so, like, it didn't make no sense for none of those guys to take that fight. But now that I'm on that ladder, I'm on those rungs, man. I'm just going to keep climbing it one by one. Like I said, I don't have to sit there and call out number 2, number 1, number 4. I'll go one by one, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. I don't care. Just to get my way to the top. My goal is to be one of the best and put my name in history.
Belal, I noticed a lot of your peers have been just speak glowingly about your ability to study the game, break down fights. I've heard people say Belal Muhammad, in the future, we're going to be seeing him as part of the broadcast team and at the desk. What does it mean to you to hear that from your peers about your ability to study the game and talk about it?
That means a lot, man. I do pride myself on that, man. My coach always tells me, like, I'll sit there and know. I watch the freaking first prelim fight to the last prelim fight. And I love watching other fights, LFA fights, all these fights outside of that. I just love watching fights. I love studying fights, and you could learn from every single thing you watch, and that's what I love doing. And like, he's always making fun of me, dude. How do you know that guy? Dude, that guy. This is his first fight in the UFC, but I know him from the regional circuit or something like that. And yeah, you know, this sport, this window's so small to be an athlete in this sport. So yeah, like, obviously I want to plant my seed and do something else with it. I got my show, Remember the Show, on every Thursday night, 7:30. People check it out. DC is gonna be coming on soon. But yeah, biggest thing is like John Anik always told me, like, just get your reps in, man. It's all about reps. Like, even if you're not getting the most views on that show, you're going to get more comfortable in front of a camera. You're going to get more comfortable talking to fighters. And it's just been awesome. Like, me starting that podcast was the best thing that happened to me. And I've been getting great guys on there like Dustin Poirier, Michael Bisping, Forrest Griffin. And like, I'll be like, man, it's so easy just to get these guys on the show. And they're like, well, you're a good guy. Like, we'll accept that just because you're a cool guy. So we won't say no to you. And I was like, it means a lot that these guys think of me like that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Belal, as you were going on your run and you were thinking about ranked guys that you wanted to fight, were there any specific names that you asked for that you did not get? You mentioned Nate Diaz. Was he somebody that was on your list at one point?
I mean, Nate Diaz is always on my list, just that money fight, of course. Like, I don't think like I said, he's not the best fighter, but he's going to bring in numbers. So, you know, your life's going to change just by fighting him. And, of course, I'm a prize fighter, so that bank account going up is not going to hurt me. But, yeah, you know, like, I sat there in my last fight. I called out Lee Jingling before. I didn't get it. I called out Ponzinibbio after my last fight. They gave Lee Jingling Ponzinibbio. So, like, I'm sitting there keep calling out these guys after every one I fight. I called out Colby Covington before he was this crazy Colby Covington because he was saying he wasn't getting any fights. So, like, I'm one of those guys not afraid to call out guys. And it doesn't have to be personal. I don't have to say something like, oh, I hate this guy's making fun of him or anything like that. I just like fights, and I think fights that make sense. And like you said, like he says, like, I could be an analyst, and I feel like that fight makes sense. Like, I know what makes sense ranking-wise. I know what makes sense to matchmakers. And I'm not going to sit there and call for, oh, let me get the winner of Usman and Gilbert, because that's a wasted call-out. I'm not going to waste my call-out. You know, you get one interview after a fight, so, like, you have to use it wisely.
They talked about you being a walking encyclopedia, and a lot of fighters don't come into this profession thinking about the business side of it because you're fighters first. When did you start to put together kind of the business aspect of MMA, and who was the first person that you started to really study?
You know, like, I worked in small businesses my whole life. My dad owns his own business. My brothers had a business. So, like, everybody in my family has businesses. So, like, I understand that. And then, like, you could use that into MMA. You know, it's a business, obviously, for people. And what sells, what's going to profit. Like, if I'm selling, we have a cell phone store. If this phone's not selling, I'm not going to keep bringing it on the shelves. So it's like one of those where a lot of these fighters don't understand that you got to promote yourself. You got to put yourself on social media. You got to interact with fans because you got to make them want to watch you. And like my performances in the cage, fans are going to want to watch that. But like outside of the cage, I got to be personable with these guys and friendly with these guys to make them want to even watch me more, buy my products, buy my shirts, buy my clothes. And I understand that, like, you know, you have to grow it. And just seeing guys like Conor McGregor, Masvidal, how much their brand, they're not just a name, they're a brand. And I want to be that guy. I want to have my brand grow.